Netflix paid $1 million for an algorithm, then never used it. That is not a mistake. That is the most important business decision Netflix ever made, and understanding why leads directly to the $1 billion machine running underneath every screen you watch tonight. In October 2006, Reed Hastings, the CEO of Netflix, announced a public competition. Netflix would pay $1 million to anyone in the world who could improve its existing recommendation algorithm, called Cinematch, by exactly 10%. 10% sounds modest. Netflix had calculated that a 10% improvement in recommendation accuracy would reduce customer cancellations enough to increase annual revenue by up to $89 million. Hastings put up $1 million to unlock $89 million. That alone is a story about how seriously Netflix took its algorithm. 51,051 contestants entered. 41,305 teams. From 186 countries. For 3 years, some of the best mathematicians, statisticians, and machine learning engineers in the world worked on the same problem, collaborating in some cases and competing in others. On June 26, 2009, a multinational team called Bellcore's Pragmatic Chaos, researchers from AT&T Labs, a Canadian startup, and an Austrian firm, submitted the winning solution. They had improved on Cinematch by 10.06%. They submitted with 24 minutes remaining before the contest closed. Netflix awarded them the $1 million. Then, over the following months, Netflix concluded it would not implement their solution. The winning algorithm was too computationally expensive to run at scale in real time. The system it had been designed to beat, Cinematch, was built for a world of DVD ratings. Users gave films 1 to 5 stars. The algorithm predicted what you would rate next. But Netflix had started streaming in 2007, while the prize competition was still running. And in the streaming world, ratings were becoming irrelevant. Nobody pauses a show they are watching to type in a star rating. What they do instead is far more revealing. They pause, they rewind. They abandon an episode 9 minutes in. They finish a series in 48 hours. They come back to a film 3 times before finally committing to it. They watch one genre alone at 11 at night and an entirely different one on Sunday morning. Every one of those actions is data. And together they tell you something far more precise about human preference than any star rating ever could. The new question wasn't, what would this person rate this movie? It was, what does this person need right now, and how long do we have to show it to them before they leave? Netflix's own research had already identified the answer to the second half of that question. In a paper published in the ACM Transactions on Management Information Systems in January 2016, Netflix's Chief Product Officer Neil Hunt and VP of Product Innovation Carlos Gomez-Uribe wrote that a typical Netflix member loses interest after perhaps 60 to 90 seconds of choosing, having reviewed 10 to 20 titles, perhaps 3 of them in any detail, across 1 or 2 screens. If a viewer does not find something compelling in that window, the risk of them abandoning the service increases substantially. 60 to 90 seconds. That is the entire battlefield. The algorithm Netflix built after the prize was designed around that constraint. Not stars, not predicted ratings. The real signals, what you actually watch, for how long, on what device, at what time of day, after what else. And in that same 2016 paper, Hunt and Gomez-Uribe made the claim that has defined Netflix's entire technology story since. They estimated that the combined effect of personalization and recommendations saves Netflix more than $1 billion per year. Not by cutting costs. By keeping subscribers who would otherwise have cancelled. By making sure enough people find something worth watching in those 90 seconds. But the algorithm doesn't stop at deciding what to recommend. It decides how to show it to you. The image you see for a show on your Netflix homepage, that thumbnail, that still frame, is not the same image someone else sees for the same show. Netflix serves different artwork to different users based on their viewing history, their engagement patterns, and what the algorithm predicts will make them click. If you consistently watch content featuring a particular actor, that actor will appear in the thumbnail. If your history shows a preference for emotional drama over action, you will see the still frame that reflects that register. Netflix calls this system artwork visual analysis. According to its own reporting, artwork and thumbnails account for over 80% of viewing decisions. The show is the same. The poster changes for every person who sees it. That level of personalization is only possible because of the data flywheel Netflix has built over nearly 2 decades of streaming. More subscribers generate more behavioral signals. More signals make the algorithm more accurate. A more accurate algorithm reduces cancellations. Fewer cancellations mean more subscribers. The system feeds itself. By late 2024, Netflix had more than 280 million paid subscribers across 190 countries. The company spent approximately $17 billion on content in 2024. More than 80% of what those subscribers actually watch arrives through algorithmic recommendation rather than through a search bar. 80%, on a platform spending $17 billion a year on content. The algorithm is not a feature. It is the distribution network. Here is the business lesson, and it is a sharp one. Netflix launched the Netflix Prize in 2006 to solve a specific technical problem. It attracted the world's best minds, ran for 3 years, paid $1 million, and produced a winning solution. Then walked away from it. That is not a failure. It is the correct decision made at the right moment. The prize was designed for a rating prediction problem. By the time it was solved, Netflix was operating a streaming business, and streaming had made the original problem obsolete. The value Netflix extracted from the competition was not the algorithm. It was the attention of the global research community, the publicity, the signaling to investors and engineers that this company took its algorithms seriously, and most importantly, the internal clarity about what question it actually needed to answer. You can never rate your way to understanding someone's taste. But you can watch them. 60 to 90 seconds. That is what $1 billion buys you every year. Not time. Just attention, and the machine precise enough to use it.